Hey, everybody. I'm excited that you're here. I first just want to start off by just thanking all of you, any of you that follow us on our social media platforms. Super grateful for those that do. And please invite your friends and family to follow along. I believe we got a lot of great content to help people build momentum in their life. Today, today I just wanted to share a little bit about the secret sauce. And when I say the secret sauce, really, it's my secret sauce. It's the things that I try to do daily to ensure that, when things get dark and ugly, which they tend to do, that I still am connected to happiness and joy in some way. And our secret sauce that I'm going to share with you today is going to go into these 5 things that I would like to share with you. So, without further ado, let's jump right in to these magical things that are going to make your life so much better and so happy. I know that's what everyone wants to make you believe and think, but I can testify that doing these 5 things really will change your life. And if you're struggling right now, which we all have struggles, but if you're struggling right now, I encourage you, I implore you to try to start doing some of these things on a daily basis and watch how things in your life shift a little. So, we're going to talk a little about this secret sauce, right? The first thing when it comes to this secret sauce is find daily gratitude. Now, I have to tell you, I have, I, I'm just going to say it. I have some of the most amazing friends that a guy could possibly ask for. These people are so genuine. They're vulnerable with me. I'm vulnerable with them. And we get to share experiences that are happening in our lives day to day. And I believe that having these kinds of people in your life is huge. And what I've done and the way I came up with this secret sauce is basically I look at these individuals and go, what are they doing? And how can I emulate them more? And so, one of the things that I've come to realize is these people always seem to have a great amount of gratitude. And so, I thought, you know what? When I was in a very, very dark period in my life, it was mind boggling. To give you, I'll just give you a snippet of what was happening. I owned a restaurant, and at the time, things were going very, very well. We were supposed to sell it and make a lot of money, a lot of money. And just before that was to take place, my wife asked for a divorce. We had 5 kids. So that was really, really hard. And in the process of our restaurant selling, the guy that I was partnered with ended up selling it. And we didn't really, I didn't make any money. I made $0. And I also was going through the process of selling our home through the divorce, and the divorce was like 3.5 years long, super dark period of my life. And then all of a sudden, um, I was at the time a district manager for or the corporate side of this restaurant, and they, for whatever reason, let go of several individuals that were franchisees or franchisors. Um, And so I lost my job. I ended up selling my house. I no longer had a 6-figure income. My wife and I were in the middle of a divorce. And I took a moment there and I was like, holy crap, I'm homeless. I'm jobless. I have, at the time, I felt like I had lost everything. So the only reason I share all that with you is so that you can understand the power of this secret sauce, because really it is what got me through and how I'm here with you today. It's what it's inspired me to start coaching and mentoring youth. So, and not that if you're not a youth, like obviously this secret sauce works for everyone. So, first item on my list is obviously to find that daily gratitude. Daily gratitude. I remember in those real dark periods, I set a goal, and my goal was I would get up early for I owned and operated a bakery, so we got up really early in the morning. I get up at anywhere 3, 4. I mean, I got up earlier than that, but typically normal 4 o'clock was kind of normal time. Sometimes 5. But in that process of getting up that early, a lot of times what I would do is I would just drag myself out of bed, wander over to the clothes I got out, get dressed, and try to get out the door in about 15 minutes after the time my alarm first went off. Well, in this dark period, I decided and set a goal. I'm going to find gratitude before my feet touch the floor. So as I spun my feet off the side of the bed, and it would be funny when I was first setting this goal, it was like the floor was lava, right? So I'd spin my feet around, and then just before the feet would touch, I'm like, whoa, whoa, I got to come up with some gratitude before my feet touch. So I'd always come up with 3 things before my feet would ever touch the ground. And it was amazing. When I first started, it was the obvious things in my life that I would go to, right? Like, I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful I have a job. I'm grateful for a home to be in. And then it was amazing to watch as I continued that process to slowly develop bigger and more better things, even small, minute things that I didn't know I was grateful for. I was just grateful for them. I was grateful for connections that I had, for experiences that I had, even if they weren't, good experiences, or at least I thought they weren't. They taught me a lesson, and I slowly worked through this process. The amazing thing about finding some type of gratitude is it sets up your whole day. You've thought about that gratitude, you thought about what you're grateful for, and next thing you know, you're going through your day, something happens, and it's like, that could really take me down, but you know what? That didn't change. I'm still grateful for these things that I talked about this morning. So, first thing in the secret recipe, find some gratitude. And I'll tell you too, one of the things that we've done in our home, so we got 9 kids. We're a blended family. We got 9 kids and my beautiful wife. There. This is hard. There. I should have just went. That's my beautiful wife right there. Lesson learned. But we have a blended family. We got 9 kids, 8 of them of which live here in our home. When we first got married, one of the first things I did is I created what I call a gratitude board, and everyone's names on it. It says daily gratitude, and they can go each day if they want and erase what they wrote the day before, and then write something new. And it has been phenomenal to see. I think my favorite part, I like writing on it and being grateful, but one of my favorite things is to watch these kids and watch the things that they're grateful for. It blows my mind sometimes, the things that they write on there, in a good way. So if you were looking for some way to inspire you to find gratitude, that is a great way to do it. It's just, we have a little whiteboard and everyone's name's on there, and then they just simply every day write on there what they're grateful for. So number 2 in our secret sauce is serve someone. Find someone to serve. Because here's what happens is we get into these modes where we're like, woe is me, poor me, my life stinks, life sucks. But you know what? There is always someone worse off than yourself. Always. And sometimes that's where the gratitude comes in, is just knowing, like you hear someone else's story and you're like, oh my gosh, that is awful. I guess I'm grateful for the burdens and situations that I have for myself. Go find someone to serve. And it doesn't matter what it is. Like those moments when I'm really struggling, those are the moments that I look and I go, hey, who can I serve in my life? And it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's returning a cart to the cart rack at the supermarket. It doesn't matter if it's a guy that's loading lumber at Home Depot, if it's a neighbor who needs their driveway shoveled of snow or lawn mowed. Find someone, or maybe it's just your wife who worked all day and I know that the sink's full of dishes. I can wash those dishes. Or maybe it's a kid who just make your kids bed, like serve them in some way. Finding opportunities to serve others will totally help your mindset in your emotional state of how you're feeling. So that's 2. Number 3, some people hate. They really do. And that's okay. I think you can learn to love it. So, exercise. If you want to change your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, I think Tony Robbins says something to the regards, if you want to change how you're feeling, you got to physically change how you feel, right? So even standing up straighter, taller can help. Put your hands on your hip like you're a superhero for 30 seconds and watch how it changes your emotional state, your mental state of where you're at. But exercise does this in so many different ways. It releases an incredible amount of endorphins in your body when you can go out and exercise. Now, when I say exercise, I I don't know what everyone's, kind of their mindset and what they're thinking. It's not like I'm saying go join a CrossFit gym and become the best CrossFit person at that gym. What I'm saying is if you're the person who doesn't really get out and do anything, oh my gosh, get out and get some vitamin D, let the sun hit you, go for a walk, go for a bike ride. And it doesn't have to be something intense. It just is something to get out and get some type of physical movement. Go for a hike. I don't need people who've never run to go out and run a marathon. I just need you to start somewhere. And once you've started, let it progress as you feel fit, as it comes to you. Just get some type of exercise. I promise you, when you do this, it will change your life for the better. I had a side note, kind of funny story. There was a kid that I went to high school with. He's not a kid anymore, but he was back then. His name is Jamel Kelly. Hopefully he doesn't mind me sharing this story, but he became a wrestling state champion. I wrestled on the high school team and with him, and he became a California state champion. And that is no easy feat, but he did. He went on and he wrestled in college, did fairly well. And then later he decides he's going to do the Olympics. He wrestles in the Olympics, becomes a silver medalist. The only reason I tell you that, because it's kind of comical that later in life I'm winning some triathlons. I'm fairly decent at running and exercise, he says. So that's a comment that he made. I think I posted something about winning some race, and he was like, "Hey, it's really good to see that you're really good at exercise." Coming from a silver medalist, Olympic medalist, right? And I kind of felt offended at the moment, but you know what? Forget that. I am glad that I am really good at exercise. So that's number 3, exercise. Find it, go get it any way you can. Start today. Just go for a walk if it needs to be a walk. Join a gym if you need to join a gym. Number 4 is rest, sleep, play. And I kind of put those all together in one thing because I think they kind of intertwine in some ways. If you're just always go, 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 which I used to be that guy who never stopped, didn't take breaks. I'm going to outwork you. I'm going to be at the restaurant at 1 a.m. and then I'm going to be there until 11 p.m. and I'm not going to eat the whole time. I'm not going to take any breaks. I'm going to outwork every single person. And then when we show up to a meeting, I would say, "Hey, guess what? Last week I only slept for 15 hours. How cool am I?" So what I'm saying is go get some rest. It's okay to stop. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to sleep for more than 4 or 5 hours a night. You can sleep for 7, 8 hours. That's the ideal amount of sleep that you should be striving for. And if you need to alternate and change your schedule around so you can get that amount of sleep, I would encourage you to do that. It's going to suck. You might have to put the video games down a little earlier. You might have to, change when you're doing homework and how you're approaching that. But as you do those things and you get the adequate amount of sleep, what happens is you're able to respond to people completely different. Your probably a lot more kinder, honestly. And you might have more empathy and compassion for people as you do so. I found that to be true in my life as I started getting more sleep. And I threw play in there because sometimes we just need to stop and literally play. We need to find something that we're passionate about, that we love, a hobby or something. If you don't have one of those, I would encourage you to figure out what that is. So stop and play. I got, like I said, a bunch of kids, a bazillion kids. And I bet you I get asked daily 20 plus times, hey, can you play with me? Hey, can you jump on the trampoline with me? Hey, can you play Risk with me? Hey, can you do this with me? Hey, do you want to do Just Dance with me? Right? And I love it. Are there days where I'm zapped and exhausted and really jumping on the trampoline might not be the number one priority? But those moments that I stop and I go, you know what? Let's go jump on the trampoline, or let's wrestle, or let's do a dance party, whatever it is, helps me so much. And the older I've gotten, it's funny when you're a kid, you get a little further away from the play thing, right? Like take recess away or take recess away. Well, maybe we should implement recess back at work so that we can be a little more connected to creativity and exploring. But rest, sleep, play. That's number 4. All right, number 5. Number 5 was a struggle for me for a long time. Number 5 is just eat healthy. And when I say eat healthy, I'm not going to tell you what to eat or what not to eat. All I'm going to say is make sure that you're eating, and make sure you're eating at the appropriate times. For the longest time, I've had a junk drawer next to my bed in my nightstand that was just chucked full of candy, and for a long time, I was like, this is so awesome. Like, I have every type of candy that I can possibly imagine. It's in my drawer. My wife buys me candy. I throw it in there. My kids buy me candy. I throw it in there. And I just have snacks all night long, and I can eat this candy or Pringles or whatever it is that's in my drawer. I finally had to make a decision and go, you know what? Eating garbage at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night is not serving me. I ended up loading up the whole drawer and getting rid of everything that was in it about 2 months ago, and decided for myself that I could do better. I could do more. Trying to step away from drinking any type of soda. I'm not telling anyone that they have to do these things. These are just things that I've done to help me. Now, where this eating and eating healthy came into effect for me, when I ran and operated that restaurant for 10 years, again, I just worked my guts out, and I was trying to show everyone I didn't need to take breaks. I didn't need to eat. And during that time, I probably weighed 100, honestly, like 135 to 100. I might have gotten up to 155 pounds, but I ate so poorly. I worked in a restaurant surrounded by food in which I was the owner. I could stop, grab anything I wanted at any time, and I didn't do it. I'm a goofball. Sometimes, to avoid anyone seeing me enjoy any type of food, what I would do is I would go to the back of the restaurant where the fridge was. I go in the fridge, I find a chocolatey eclair on the shelf, and I'd shove it in my mouth as fast and as hard as I could, and then run back out front and pretend like I didn't eat anything. So the one thing I would eat in a 12 to 15-hour shift was a chocolate eclair. Now, throughout my restaurant career, what I realized through therapy of my own that I did is several of these things, which I needed to eat. I needed to stop, take a break, and I needed to eat something. And I started changing my lifestyle and saying, hey, let's eat, maybe not just eat anything like a chocolate eclair. What if I ate, I stopped during breakfast time and I ate a scrambled omelet with spinach and feta and had some avocado on the side. Again, I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, but I'm telling you, as you make these changes and you say, hey, if I want to really start building some momentum in my life, I will do these things. I'm going to find some gratitude daily. I'm going to find some gratitude daily and perhaps even write it down. Because if I can write it down, that's going to be impactful. For a while, me and my wife, while we were dating, we would send each other every morning the 3 things that we were thankful for. And I'd send them to her early in the morning, and then she would send stuff to me. So find a way to write that gratitude down. 2, find people to serve. If it's people in your own home, great. If it's your neighbors, great. If it's people at work, awesome. If it's people at school, just find people to serve, especially on those days that you're really struggling. Exercise. Get it any which way you can. If you need to do push-ups, do push-ups. If you need to go for a run, go for a run. If you need to go for a walk, go for a walk. But you got to be able to get some exercise. When they shut all the gyms down during COVID, I was devastated because I just gotten in about a year into just working out really hard. So you're working out really hard. They closed all the gyms and I didn't know what to do. So I just started doing push-ups and running. Literally, that's all I would do. One day I did 1,500 push-ups in one day. And people at work are like, dude, you should push-ups all the time. I go, yeah, I could bang out 50 push-ups in, I don't know, 30 seconds. Not a big deal. But it was important to me to get that exercise. Rest and play. You got to be rested up so you can respond and talk to people and have compassion and empathy as you should. Find moments to play. And then lastly, eat healthy. And honestly, if you do those things, it's gonna change your life. And that's why I wanted to share our secret sauce with you today is I want to help you build momentum. As a certified personal trainer, as a life coach, I want to help you build momentum in your life. If you know someone or you as yourself are needing some help to be inspired, let me be the guy. My lovely wife would love to help you too. She's the same. We just want to help people build momentum. So whether it's you or a friend or a neighbor, follow us. We'd love to help you. And we look forward to building momentum with you in your life. Thanks for joining me today.